Hello and welcome to the Hobbies and Happiness podcast, where we talk all about the hobby that makes us happy, tabletop gaming. I'm one of your hosts, Dan.
And I'm Jim.
And today is episode number 14.
Yes.
And today we are talking all about our D&D one-shot.
Yes.
Let's go. So for probably like every single episode that we've had so far, we have talked a lot about me playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
Because up until last week, I had not played at all. And so we finally played.
Dan finally got to play it.
I feel like we were setting that up for like a while.
Yeah.
Like we kind of planned it for a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. So
we've been playing it since like episode 5.
Yeah. ever since we had Michael on, and if hopefully Michael is listening to this, and today was the day. Today was the day that Michael officially moved out, and I think he starts his new job next week. So,
wow.
Michael, if you are listening,
congrats to him.
We miss you, man. But
day one.
So anyway, it was at the one shot. It was Jim and I, Michael, our friend Noah, friend of the show Noah, and then I convinced my wife Brittany to sit in and play with us as well.
Kind of glad she played.
Well, yeah. So
like as soon as you were like, "Oh yeah, she's interested," I'm like, "You have to get her to play."
Well, so. And the reason I initially texted you and said she was interested was, because Michael was doing it with us, right?
Yeah.
And I wanted Brittany to sit in and kind of spend more time with him as much as she could before he left, right?
That makes sense.
And I'm also thinking, I'm like, you know what? Brittany loves acting. Like she was in plays like in high school and college. And she loves to act, right?
Yeah.
And so immediately I'm just like, dude, she would love this.
Yeah.
I guarantee you she would love it. So I texted her, and I'm gonna pull up the thread right now just because I want to know. I'm trying to see exactly what I said.
I'm kind of chuckling over here because of like one of the first things that she did in our our one shot. We're gonna get to it.
What?
Yeah. I'm saying the first thing that she did in our one shot. In our session. Do you not remember?
Now you have me thinking.
Oh man, it was pretty funny to me.
I'm trying to remember of what it was. All right, so
we'll go over it soon, Dan.
All right, so we were texting about some pictures of Penelope, our daughter. And so I just texted her and I said, you should play D&D with us tonight.
Yeah.
And then I sent a smiley face, right? And then she responds within like 5 minutes and just says, sure, exclamation point. I'm like, oh yes, it is on like Donkey Kong. So I immediately texted you and Michael.
Yeah.
And Michael's response was like, what? It's like that meme. What?
Yeah.
So right after that, I'm a little surprised. I wasn't totally surprised because I knew she would enjoy it, which she did. Right. So immediately,
I'm glad everyone enjoyed it.
Immediately after that, like I'm texting her. I'm like, all right, so pick just basically we're gonna build, like, do you want to build a character or just do you want us to build it for you?
Yeah.
And I figured she'd want to build it.
Yeah.
And she did. And so I sent her the classes and the races.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, so just pick like a class that you want to be and then pick a race. So I sent her like the D&D, the links, to the classes and the races and told her what, told her what everything was, right? And then I told her what my character was. And it was basically, history was made from there. From that point, history was made.
Yeah, that was
so.
Man, that was fun.
So, Yeah, I mean, we kind of just wanted to go through it and just talk about it because, like we said, we've been talking about it for quite a few episodes.
Yeah, if you guys have been following us for quite some time now,
for any amount of time, we've probably talked about it. And,
I mean, since we talked about our favorite games, our top 5 or whatever, what was that, episode 3 or something? I've been, like that. I don't know. I brought up D&D then.
Yeah. And I even said like I had wanted to play, so we finally did.
Yeah.
So so the way the one shot works, I'm actually just gonna let Jim talk about it because Jim ran it as the DM or the GM.
Yeah, you
however
can call
you
it both,
say it. Yeah.
Dungeon Master or Game Master, whichever you want.
So I kind of want to ask Jim. So Jim, what was your inspiration for this, and what did you prepare, if anything?
So before we even got into the game, I actually talked to a friend of mine. We grouped up with him, played Force of Flesh and Blood. Okay. I was about to say Force of Will. And so we were talking a little bit, and I told him that I was running the one shot that night.
Okay.
And I told him like kind of what I wanted to do, and he was giving me some ideas. And then I just like threw it all out the window. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have a little bit of an idea of what I'm going to do and just improvise the rest out of it. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of variety. So a little bit of combat, a little bit of role playing, some comedy, some seriousness, a little bit. And yeah, that was my overall goal. And okay. I think we achieved most of those.
Most of it, yeah. Yeah, there was only like one part probably in the whole session that I was just like, really? One time. But other than that, it was pretty good. And I'm pretty sure you know what time I'm talking about.
Yeah. So it started out your normal D&D session. And they woke up prisoners on a cart. You guys woke up. It was dark. It was pretty much cloudy, mountains on both sides of you, a few trees here and there. You're going down a rocky road. You're finally awake.
Are you just gonna like go through the whole thing?
No, I'm not. So I pretty much opened it up with the intro to Skyrim.
Yeah, and like me, Michael, and Noah were just like, oh, seriously.
So when I was talking to Dan before that, he was like, I'm just gonna keep playing Skyrim music over and over, just on repeat.
So yeah, because we were texting, and this was after I told him, my wife was gonna play.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm prepping kind of for the night on it, like mentally, because I'm getting ready for it. I'm getting ready to have a good time because I was excited, in all honesty. So when I told him that, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna play Skyrim on repeat during the night, and that's what we did. So
I'm like, you know what?
So I guess it's my fault.
That seems like a good starting point. And as soon as I did it, he's like, hold on a minute, I got to go put on the music.
Yep. Because I had forgotten to put it on at that point. So we were so we're all four of us awakened in this cart, right? So you've got me, a rock gnome wizard,
yes,
who had a kind of Irish accent from time to time. So it
was Irish, Scottish. It was all over the place.
I am just like, don't ever ask me to be a voice actor because I would be so bad.
The more you do it, Dan.
But yes. And I told my wife afterwards, I'm like, I have to keep trying this accent because I have to nail it and get it down.
Yeah.
So you had a rock gnome wizard, right? You had Michael was a human, right?
Yeah, he was a cleric.
I knew he was a cleric. I just couldn't remember the race he was.
I don't remember if he told me. He was just like, I'm going to be a cleric. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, so he was the healer of the group. Then we had...
Was he, though?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking, he was the healer, but he did not want to heal that one little guy.
He healed me. He didn't. So the person that that Jim is referring to is the one and only Noah, who isn't even. I mean, is it technically an official class? I don't really know.
It is not official. It is just made by like one of their top DMs.
Yeah. So Matt Mercer, who is the DM for Critical Role.
Yes.
If you've ever seen any D&D content, it's probably Critical Role. In all honesty,
they actually have 2 official books from them now. They have the Taldore and then the Wild Mount.
Okay.
So 2 books specifically from Critical Role.
So, and Matt Mercer, he made, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but he made a separate class.
Yes.
Right? Called the Blood Hunter. Is that correct?
Blood Hunter. And then also, I forget the other one, like Gunslinger or something along those lines.
So Noah was a Blood Hunter. And essentially the way Blood Hunters work is they have to injure themselves to get their weapons, basically. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they have to injure themselves to make themselves stronger.
Yeah. So literally like every 5 minutes, Noah's like, okay, I'm going to cut my hand. I'm going to cut my hand. And so you've got the healer who's like, dude, will you stop? I'm not going to waste my healing magic on you, okay? And it was hilarious because
that was so
because
good.
every time Michael like yelled at him, Noah's just like, I'm gonna cut my hand.
I'm gonna do it again.
So it was that interaction was just funny. Like the whole night, it was funny. So, all right, and so Brittany, my wife, was she was a fairy sorceress.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
All right, and I guess fairy isn't what do you call it?
It is
Unearthed Arcana.
It's Unearthed Arcana. It is a
I don't know what
playtest
that
thing.
means.
Yeah, so what they have is the thing Unearthed Arcana is strictly playtesting.
Okay.
So later, most of the time, whatever is inside the Unearthed Arcana tends to make it to a book eventually, but sometimes it'll be different.
Right.
Very rarely is it the exact same.
Okay.
Because it's all just playtesting.
Okay. So you're playtesting these classes or races
Yeah, classes, races as well. Yeah. Artificer was on there
before their official quote unquote, right?
Yeah. And a lot of the times a lot of different subclasses are in there.
Well, it was funny too because when I was talking to Brittany about the different classes and races, the first thing she said to me was, "Can I be a fairy?" I'm like, I have no idea. I don't think so.
And I'm like, yes, you can.
So I'm like, Jim, can she? So she was a fairy.
Michael did say it's like, well, it's Unearthed Arcana, so it's not official. And I'm like, but I like Unearthed Arcana, so let's have fun with it.
Yeah. And she did.
That's what it's there for. It's there to play test.
She did. So, she had fun.
Yeah.
So you had a human, a rock gnome, a blood hunter.
I think he was an elf.
Was he an elf?
I think so. I could be wrong though.
An elvish blood hunter, and then a fairy sorceress.
Yeah.
It was a very weird party.
Yeah.
So we all wake up and we're like, okay. All right, where's the dragon?
You guys had your perception thing.
Well, it was funny. Yeah. So we roll, right. And okay. So
I wasn't actually going to do anything with that dragon.
You weren't? No. So as we are in this cart being taken away, okay? Yeah. So, Jim, just set it up for everybody, okay? And then so Jim will set it up, and then I'll let you know what we were thinking, or what at least I was thinking in the party.
So they wake up, they see another guy across from them on the other side of the cart, and it's very dark here. It's shadowy, and so he talks to them for a little bit, and he's like, "Well, I've been out of this 3 times now, so how strong are you guys?" Just wanted to know exactly. And everyone's like, let's break the cart.
No. Okay. So he asks that question. And then the blood hunter over here is like, I'm going to take my sword and just shove it into the cart.
And then everyone followed suit.
No. So then Michael follows suit. And then Brittany follows suit. And then I'm like, what are we doing? All he honestly asked was how powerful are we, but sure, I guess I'll take out my dagger and I don't know what we're trying to do, but okay.
And actually, so I was first going to set it up to where you guys could destroy the cart. I'm like, wait, it's so much more funny that you hurried up to do it. I'm like, no, what are you doing? You can't destroy this cart.
Noah, and in our defense, Noah was the one to like
he did
hurry
start it up
and do it.
Yeah, he did start it up.
Yeah.
But so a little bit of time goes on. They're talking and whatnot. They get to the castle, and pretty much everyone is about to be beheaded. But the king needed something done. He had a chore that needed to be done.
All right. So before now, no. So at this point, I believe we're still all outside the castle. Yeah, because the guys, one of the soldiers is basically talking to us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And is that the point where you asked us to roll for perception?
No. You guys were all in the castle, trying to because you guys were like, "Oh, are we shackled or anything? Do we have all of our stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, you do." And you guys were just inside the castle waiting to figure out what's going on.
Okay, so there was a time, and I can't remember exactly when this was, but it was early on. There was a time.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, this is the first thing that she did.
There was a time when I don't remember exactly what happened, but you told us that we see something in the sky.
Yeah,
we hear a whoosh.
Yeah. Yeah, you hear one big flap.
One big flap
going through the air.
Okay, and Brittany even said, later on in the night, she was like, "Whatever became of that?" So was that supposed to be an actual dragon, or what was it?
It was an actual dragon.
It was, okay.
But I wasn't going to do anything with it. It was just going by. Because I'm like, you know what? It's the intro to Skyrim. Everyone's going there to get beheaded and killed and whatnot, and then the dragon shows up. Spoilers.
Yeah. Of 20-year-old?
It's not 20 yet.
It's not. It's long.
Yeah, I think it's like 12 or something.
It's something like that. They just had an anniversary.
Yeah,
it's like 12 or 15.
It's so rough.
Something.
They keep printing it in every single console.
I know.
Regardless.
I don't know why.
But I think at the start of the cart ride, I say that there's someone across from you, and your wife's like, "Should we kill him?"
Yeah,
that was right. That was the best part. It was like we instantly started. She was like, "I'm a murder hobo." She's like, "I don't even know what that is, but I am it."
Dude, we all died laughing. No. She said that, and then I just went wide-eyed. I'm like, what are you even talking about?
I'm like, you could if you want.
Why are you gonna kill this guy?
Yeah, that was great.
Oh, dude, that was hilarious. Oh my word. I think every single one of us were like, what?
Even I was like, from her? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I was scared the rest of the night.
Man.
When you guys left, I'm like, help me. Oh, dude, that was funny. I did forget about that.
Yeah.
Dude. That was funny. Oh man.
So I pretty much ended up giving them an offer that you guys could not refuse.
Yeah, essentially.
It was either get beheaded or go do a chore for the king.
Right.
And everyone just thought he was like a wimpy king and whatnot, just like an old guy.
The king was weird. The king was a little odd, if I do say so myself.
In this castle, in this area, you have to fight in order to become the king. So eventually there will always be a new king.
The king wanted us to fight him for some odd reason.
Because he's used to fighting.
He goes into this pit and takes off his shirt and is like,
he's so ripped.
Come fight me. I'm like, no. It's funny.
Wizard didn't want to fight him.
The cleric was like, I am an arbiter of peace. I shall never fight you. I take the path of peace in all situations.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm just like, that's
a way
I'm
to
good.
do it. That's a way to do it.
I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, so no one wanted to fight him. He sent them on a mission, go down this well, and go get back. What was it, Dan? What did he want you guys to get?
Stones. Oh wait, I'm sorry. They were called the family jewels?
Yes, they were.
Did you at least plan that portion?
No, I didn't.
You didn't plan it.
I didn't even plan that. No.
All right. And so, well, it was funny because knowing Jim, he made all of this up on the spot.
Yeah.
He made like literally everything up on the spot.
Pretty much everything. Yeah. I was just like, let's see how it goes.
Here's my question then.
Yeah.
Since I know you made everything up on the spot, why in the world were we rolling? What were we rolling for? Did you
see what happens?
Oh, but
that's the whole point.
Okay, all right. So, for example,
otherwise, I'm just telling you guys a story. I like to see what you guys do because I don't know what you're going to do.
No. Okay, but how okay? What have we talked about that's already been given away?
Oh, are we talking about like the random perception checks?
Yeah, just all the checks and that.
Because
HP.
if someone got to a certain point, if it was like 15 or 20 on it, I would have just been like, you see something, and I'm like giving you a random item or something.
Yeah, but when did you determine what that value was? Immediately, like
no,
right
I just make it up. I'm like, if it's high enough that I think, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give you something.
So before the roll, you didn't have the value. Oh, no. Well, that's cheap.
Yeah. No, I just make it up there.
Oh my word.
But normally it is in increments of 5. So if it's less than the 15 tier, I tend to like not really give anything. But especially if it's over 20, I'll pretty much give you something. So, and it'll be good. If it's 25 or 30, I'm like, whoo.
So here's my question. Here's my question then. Again, coming from someone who this was their first experience. Mm-hmm. How does it work in like in an actual campaign that you're following the book, let's say? So
if we're talking about like an out of the book campaign, so like Curse of Strahd or Dragon Heist, things along those lines. I mean, you pretty much follow the book, but there's no way to 100% railroad your teammate or your party. So the book will give you like a lot of different things that can happen and be like, oh, in these rooms, there's this stuff. And so whatever it is that you guys decide to do, the book can kind of help, but it is up to the DM also. So like these books are really just guidelines.
Well, right. But how do you determine like, okay, so for example, the dragon thing, right?
Yeah.
Because we had to essentially roll for, what was it, perception?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we had to make a roll, and we rolled a d20 for perception check.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the book give you guidance on, like, when to do something like that? Or
I'll say sometimes.
Or also, excuse me, what role you need to hit in order for there to be rewards, let's say.
So yeah, they will actually state in there if they have perception checks of like 15 or 20. So that's where I get the increments of 5 as well, because they already state that inside of these books. Very rare.
Is it normally like 15 or 20?
Yeah, so it'll be in increments of 5. So sometimes it's even 10 if it's like really easy.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, they will state in the book, it's like you go into this room and you describe what's in the room. But if some people want to be looking around more, be like, oh, you went to this random corner underneath the stairs, you found this, which you normally wouldn't see just walking into the room.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Or a secret door that you investigated for,
Gotcha.
Stuff along those lines.
Okay. My goodness, man. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, so we go down, we go down into this well, basically, off to find the king's jewels.
The king's family jewels.
Yeah, the family jewels. Jeez. And so take us from there, Jim.
Yeah, so you guys go down there. It is it's pretty dark. Not everyone has dark vision, so they set it up to where they're just like, all right, let's put light on this crossbow bolt and shoot it down the hallway. This was a really long hallway. The bolt itself didn't even strike into anything, but as you could see, about 45 feet down, you could see different pathways that you could take.
Okay.
You guys ended up going down one of the side paths. Came across a dining room area with 3 adventurers sitting at the table being eaten alive by rats.
Yes, we did.
Or what you thought they were being eaten alive. They were already dead. So,
Yeah, okay, yeah, right.
so you guys charged in there. Michael's like, taste my fury, falls flat on his face with the first roll of the night, combat wise, and got a nat 1.
Which, when you hear nat 1, so in D&D, okay, there's a lot of modifiers, right? So basically what D&D involves a lot of are two things: talking, role playing, right?
Yeah.
And rolling of dice.
Yes.
Okay. Different kinds of dice, right? Normally the most used die is a D20, right?
Yeah.
20-sided die.
Yep.
Okay. Now, with D&D, there's a lot of what are modifiers, right? So modifiers to your rolls. Okay. So if you roll a dice, let's say you roll a 5, right? Well, you have a modifier for that specific skill of a +3. So you get to add 3 to your roll. So you rolled a 5, but in actuality, your total value for that encounter is an 8.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So when somebody says a nat 1, that's a natural 1. So they just roll the die and the die comes up 1.
Yeah.
They might have some modifiers to increase that, but it's just the nat just means natural.
Yeah.
So it's a natural 1.
And also, let's say a creature that you're attacking has an armor class of, say, 5, right? Really low, really low. If you say you got a nat 1 on the die, but your modifier makes it to where you actually hit over that 5, you still don't hit, because 5% of the time you will just fail horribly. Same thing with a nat 20. So on the other side of the die, you just do completely outstanding for that specific thing. So yeah, you guys ran in there fighting these giant rats. These things were huge.
Yeah,
if you've ever seen city rats, like that size. They were like 2 feet long body, not even including tail. So, yeah, you guys ran in there gung ho. Put up a pretty good fight.
Yeah, our cleric ends up falling flat on his face right away.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, you're one of those DMs, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, yes, I am. I like really good fails.
Yeah.
If you want really cool crits and how do you finish stuff, you're gonna fail miserably as well."
Yeah. Yeah, so there were 3 rats. We ended up taking all of them out with some pretty gruesome finishes, thanks to Jim.
Yeah.
I got to use some sweet spells.
Yeah, that chrome orb.
That chrome orb was
orb?
sweet.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. So the first thing that I did was I shot off the
Arcane missile or magic missile.
Magic missile.
Yes,
That's what it's called. So I shot 3 missiles.
Yeah.
It's
force damage.
So you know what? I'm actually gonna do, because I've got the book. I've got the book right here. Okay.
All right.
So I bought these books not that long ago, because I knew I wanted to get into this, right? Get into D&D, and I am very glad that I bought this one, because apparently this book, the Player's Handbook, is like the book that you need to play D&D.
It is
right?
the #1 book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I picked this bad boy up. So the first thing that I did, right, was I shot off this magic missile, right? So I'm on the spell, okay, in the book where it says magic missile. All right, so here it goes. So you create 3 glowing darts of magical force. Each dart hits a creature of your choice that you can see within range. A dart deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage to its target. The darts all strike simultaneously, and you can direct them to hit one creature or several. So the way that I set it up was I directed 1 bolt to 1 creature, essentially. So each 3 of my bolts...
Spread out the damage.
Yeah, I spread out the damage a little bit.
Yeah.
That was the first thing that I did. So I did a little bit of damage with that. And then when it came back to me... I believe was when I shot off my chromatic orb.
Yeah,
that's correct. The chromatic orb. Apparently, chromatic orb is a really powerful spell.
It is. It is a really strong one. Very early on too.
So chromatic orb is a level 1 evocation. Okay, and what it reads is: you hurl a 4-inch diameter sphere of energy at a creature that you can see within range. You choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder for the type of orb you create, and then make a ranged spell attack against the target. If the attack hits, the creature takes 3d8 damage of the type you choose.
Yes.
That's a lot of damage. 3d8s.
I did really like describing that kill.
That was sweet. So the way that I chose to do it was I hurled an orb of fire energy at this rat, and you remember that? Do you remember that kill?
Yeah, I do. So you throw this red orb, striking the rat right in the face, and it continues to go through its body, cauterizing the inside of it as it's passing through, just leaving a huge gash in the middle of it.
And that was in its head, right?
Yeah, it was right through the head, right through the body, through the entire thing.
Oh, so it was like horizontal?
Yeah. Or it was facing you, so it was like right through the whole body.
Okay, so it wasn't like standing up. It was down on all fours. Essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty gruesome.
Yeah, it is. It didn't have a head anymore after that attack.
So after that, I remember after that I go, so he's dead, right?
Like, yeah, I'd say he's dead.
Because I'm like, I don't know how this goes.
Also, at the end, Brittany was like, how much health did those things have? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I just made it up.
Yeah, back to a gym just makes everything up on the go and on the fly. Yeah, he does.
It was fun.
It was, dude. And that one, after that, in all honesty, for me, it kind of went downhill because that part was probably the highlight.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the combat.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the combat of that. So that was kind of nice.
Well, it's good to know what you like in these games as well, because then like going into the future, if you're ever sitting down with a DM and they're like, all right, what kind of story do we want? You know, I personally like more role playing with a little bit of combat.
Yeah.
And because then you get more invested in your character along with working with the other people around you as well. But yeah, combat is super great as well. Yeah. So as long as they can describe the things and whatnot.
Yeah. So that was cool. And I enjoyed the role playing for sure. Mm-hmm. But I think for me, like when it comes to just role playing a scenario in general, I think it really all depends on like the kind of scenario that we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
And like how we're going about it. So after this encounter, we came across we came across a very interesting individual, a little goblin who by the way, Jim, did the goblin have a name?
Yes, he did.
It was.
I have no idea though.
So this is funny because, like, so Jim, go through like how you describe this too.
So as you guys are done killing the giant rats, you take a rest for an hour.
Yeah, we did take a rest. Yeah.
And so I then had them roll for things, or no, I rolled for something. I don't even know why I rolled because I was just going to have it happen anyway. And so a little goblin appears on opening this door and sees you guys just all getting ready to continue your adventure. And he's like, slowly closing the door. Then what happens, Dan? What happens as he's slowly closing the door?
I yelled out, no, wait, because Jim said it's a goblin. And then I go, wait a minute. I can speak goblin. And so Michael the cleric is like, wait a minute, you speak goblin? I go, yeah, along with like 7 other different languages.
yeah, you had a lot.
Yeah, my character speaks common, gnome, celestial, elvish, abyssal, goblin, and sylvan.
Yeah.
Boom. So I try to speak to this goblin, right? So I go, yeah, no, wait, hang on. And then Jim's just like,
I'm just like, I think I need to go. I don't know what's going on here.
He continued to do the.
He's closing the door while Dan's trying to talk to him.
I'm trying to talk to this goblin.
Mind you, it is ridiculously slow. It would have taken like another minute for the door to close.
So what were you gonna do with that? Like, would I have even been successful in trying to talk to this goblin?
Yeah, you would have been able to. But I think
so why didn't I?
There was someone who sat right next to you who tried something. He tried to hold person.
Oh, yeah. Was that
Noah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was Noah. You cast
That was
hold
that
person.
that was that time, right?
Yeah. Because you were talking to him for a little bit, and he was still like wary of what's going on.
So I'm trying to calm this goblin down and trying to talk to him, right?
Yeah.
And tell him we mean no harm, and we're friendly. I'm trying to get some information out of this goblin because I have no idea what the heck is down here.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to find these jewels, right?
Yeah.
We're trying to find these jewels from the king.
The family jewels.
Yes, the family. I'm trying not to say that.
Yeah. Okay.
So
they didn't find out it was the family jewels till later on, until you guys talked to some other stuff.
No, you mentioned that.
I said gems at the start.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that was a nice little tidbit detail that you dropped on us. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
So I'm trying to talk to this goblin. I'm trying to get information on these jewels, right? Mm-hmm. And then Noah freaking comes up right next to me, just goes, I'm gonna try to hold person him.
Oh my God.
Which I don't even know what the heck that is. Is that a spell or?
Yeah, it's a spell that just makes it to where they can't move.
Okay. So he tries to cast the spell and is unsuccessful, and then the goblin runs away. And so I look
closes the door real quick. And
I look at him. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, man? Actually, what I should have said was, hey, laddie, what you doing?
True. His character was Scottish, I think. I don't know.
I tried. Like,
Irish?
I'm like
Australian, maybe?
No, he's supposed to be. It's supposed to sound like an Irish or Scottish accent, and I failed miserably.
We believe you.
Yeah, you better. So I tried and I failed. So I need to practice that. But anyway, yeah. So Noah scared him off, and we weren't very happy with him. Nobody was. We contemplated killing him right there.
You could have.
Yeah, I know. But alas, we did not. We chose not to.
Yeah. So then you guys decided to keep traveling along, found a closed door with some light and some talking behind it, a little bit of music too.
Yep. So we decided we basically had two choices. We could keep going down the hall or we could try and enter that door.
Yeah.
And so I think we chose to enter the door.
Yep.
And I think we started to enter. We started to do something, but like prior to entering it.
Yeah.
And then the lights all turned off.
Yeah.
Lights all turned off. People stopped talking.
I think someone knocked.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Someone knocked.
Yeah,
the
we
lights
knocked.
slowly
That's
dimmed. The talking stopped.
Yeah, that's what
and
it was.
whatnot. And then there was a random voice that you heard. It said, "I think someone's at the door."
Well, yeah. Actually, the sound was.
Yeah, that's what you heard.
That's what everybody else heard. But I heard, because I speak Goblin.
Yeah.
I heard someone's at the door.
I think someone's here.
So I started talking to them. Well, it turns out it was the goblin that ran away from us was in there with a bunch of other goblins.
Yeah, and he was talking about how he saw some people.
And we walked, and it turns out we stumbled upon a goblin bar.
Yeah.
Basically.
Underground goblin bar.
An underground goblin bar underneath this castle somehow. Very weird.
It was their town.
So we struck up multiple conversations with a few different goblins.
Yeah, the first guy you talked to, he was pretty great. You bought everyone drinks.
I did. I bought everybody drinks because I was talking. Yeah. I was talking to the goblin, and I'm like, you know what, barkeep, the next round's on me for everybody in the bar.
Yeah. So then, you were talking to him, being like, oh, we took care of your rat problem down the way. And this little goblin starts to get really sad, pretty much starts to cry in front of him. He's like, you killed Pissy, Missy, and Stinky.
And then I think Brittany was the one who said, oh man, we killed their pets.
Yeah, she was like 6 minutes into this conversation. You ruined everything.
Because I said that. I was the one who, because I was conversing with them, and I even said, yeah, your rat. Yeah, we took care of your rat problem for you. and then I calmed the goblin down. I was like, never mind. They're fine. They're okay.
We fed them and gave them water. I didn't even have you roll for deception. I was just like, all right, let's continue.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have to roll for anything. I was kind of surprised. But yeah. That was funny.
Yeah, it was.
That was one twist that was pretty hilarious. Yeah, that was probably the funniest twist of the night.
I didn't plan for that one either.
No, that was funny. That was kind of funny. Yeah.
So then you were talking around with some people, got to the bartender, saw the name of the bar, which was, do you remember?
The name of the bar. Oh boy.
Yes.
I don't remember.
The name of the bar, it was just squiggly lines on a piece of wood. It didn't actually have a name.
Oh yeah.
It was just up on the wall, squiggly lines on a bar.
Yeah.
So talking to him, he's like, "Hey, yo, we got to find some stuff. We're looking for it." Mm-hmm. He's like, "Oh, yeah. Go talk to the blacksmith. He's on the other side of the room."
So we go to the blacksmith, talk to the blacksmith, and the blacksmith says, "Oh yeah, you need to talk to the barkeep."
Yeah, but what did he tell you there? He told you the specific name. He informed you that it was it was the family jewels.
That's right, because he goes. That's right. That was where we found out, because we started telling him that we needed the family jewels,
the gems.
The gems, right? Because we said the gems, and then the goblin goes,
"You mean the family jewels?" Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when we started laughing a little bit. That was funny.
So then, he was like, "Oh yeah, the bartender has it."
Yeah, and we're like, wait, he actually has them in the bar?
Like, yeah, he does. It's behind the bar.
Yeah. So we go back to the bartender, and then he tells us that the gems are there, and he's got them, and he hands them over to us.
The only reason he handed them over was because you called them the family jewels.
Oh, really?
That was the only reason.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
And then he's like, "All right, let me go bring down my business sign," which was just squiggly lines on a piece of wood, and it was behind there.
They were right behind there, yeah. So after he gives them to us, okay, so it was the bartender who did this, right? Not the blacksmith. This was the bartender
for the fight.
Yeah.
It was the bartender.
So I can't even remember how this happened. There were a couple things that happened with this that were kind of funny.
Yeah. So after he handed you guys over the crystal container that was the shape of a rabbit and had the family jewels inside of it, he's like, "So who wants to fight me?" Everyone instantly thought it was the king.
Yeah. Well, I didn't, but that's what everybody else thought. I'm like, I mean, I don't think it is, but this is just weird, but okay.
Yeah. It was just whenever the king would come down, he'd always want to fight people. And this little guy was like, "All right, so who wants to fight me if the king sent you?"
Yeah.
And so our blood hunter decided to step up to the challenge.
Yeah. And he was like, I'll fight you. Sure. I'll do it. I'll do it. And so literally everybody else was like, "Oh, geez, seriously."
Yeah, this was good.
It was like 20 minutes of just nonsense.
I was gonna say I don't know if it was 20 minutes.
Well, yeah,
it was a few rounds.
Yeah, it was a couple of rounds. And so when the bartender asked who wanted to fight, I'm like, I'll just take a drink. Just give me a drink. Ended up, I passed out.
Dude, this was some gross beer. I don't know why you drank it. It was like sewage water mixed with mixed with beer. And it was gross.
Yeah,
it was gross.
Yeah, I don't remember it because I passed out.
You threw up.
Threw it
a
all
few
up
times,
and then passed out.
Then you passed out.
Yeah.
So
if anybody's listening to this, remember this is all role playing. None of this actually happened.
Yeah, this is all role playing. And so Noah decided to give him a fight. They put the tables in the shape of an octagon, and some people even wanted to place bets.
Yeah.
Or some goblins wanted to place bets. And then your other teammates were like, no.
Because I was passed out at the time.
Yeah.
I was passed out at the time, and I couldn't relay the information because I was the only one who spoke goblin.
Yeah.
So,
and that was funny.
So at the end of the fight, it turns out that the Blood Hunter bested the bartender.
Yes.
Left him battered and bruised.
Yes.
And the Blood Hunter asks the cleric, hey, why don't you heal this guy?
Yeah. Yeah. Heal the little goblin that hooked us up and whatnot. And
the cleric's like, no. Why should I?
He's like, he decided to fight. He doesn't need heals. I'm like, I don't think you know what a cleric does. You're supposed to save the people who decide to fight. But hey, whatever.
Yep. So that was his stance. He didn't want to heal him because he didn't want to. Let's see. What should we say?
I don't know.
He wasn't happy with Noah.
I think that's really the problem. He was just like, no, get out of my face. Don't talk to me about healing at all.
So it ended up where the cleric took me on his back, and the three of us, me, the cleric, and the fairy, we left while the Blood Hunter stayed behind.
Yeah. And became the new
he became the new bartender.
So he is now the bartender for the underground goblin ring, fighting ring area.
Yep. So the three of us left. Now, mind you, I'm passed out. I have no idea what's going on.
Yep.
So we go back, and then essentially we get brought back up to the king.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then what happened from there?
From there, he calls the guards over. After he gets his family jewels back, he calls the guards over, and he says, bring them to the room.
So Michael's freaking out at this point.
Yeah, Michael was freaking out. He's like,
what is
you're
this?
Like, we were free to go, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we'll talk about it. Let's get to the room. Take him to the room.
So essentially, Michael's kicking and screaming this whole time.
Yeah.
I'm passed out. I can't do anything.
Yeah.
I had to roll like a couple of times to see if I woke up and nothing.
Con save, yeah.
Yeah. So Michael's like trying to do anything and everything to avoid being taken to this room.
Yeah.
I don't know what our fairy was doing. I can't even remember.
The fairy was just like, okay.
Yeah. So we get taken to this room, and then what happened?
And then they sat you guys down at a table. The king sat down at pretty much what would be the head of the table in a circular thing. The rest of the guards sat down.
Wait. You said the head of the table at a circular thing?
I said pretty much the head of the table. So like based upon the room, and you could see like the better chair, that was like the head of the table.
I gotcha.
And yeah, they were all pissed off fighting these guards. It was like a 3-round incident. And so 18 seconds in D&D time. And they weren't happy. So took them to the room. Everyone sat down. And the king starts to remove the head of the rabbit, the crystal container. Mm-hmm. And out come 7 family jewels, all in the shape of a D4, a D6, a D8, 2 10s, a 12, and a 20. They were getting ready to play D&D. They were getting ready to play humans and McDonald's. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. So that was pretty much the end of the session. Yeah. So
monsters and mazes. That's what they were playing.
Go.
Monsters and mazes.
Yeah.
So
so
that was the end.
That was the end, and so we had fun. Like I had said, for me, the best part for me was definitely the combat. I had the most fun with the combat.
Well, yeah, because then the rest of it you were knocked out.
Pretty much. Yeah. Next time I will know. Don't take a drink from a goblin. That looks kind of gross.
Yeah. It was rough.
Something bad's probably gonna happen. Yeah. So let me ask you, Jim, what was the favorite part for you for that night?
My favorite part is when everyone was just laughing.
Yeah.
Enjoying it. That's That's the best part for me, when everyone else is enjoying the random story that we're making together.
Yeah. So how many times have you like run a session?
I've done it a few times now. I'd say 12 to 15 times. Just like random one shots, not really anything too campaign like. The most I've gone was probably like 4 sessions. So nothing
in a row.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a story. Nothing longer than that though, because a lot of the people I play with are just like always the DM. I'm like, well, if you want a break, I can take over for a little bit. I don't continue their story.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, since you don't really have a character inside your own world and I don't want to change anything in your world or like know anything really, I'm just like, let me make something for you guys.
Yeah.
Do a little one shot, maybe like 2 weeks in a row here and there. And so I wish I could DM more. I just don't really get a chance to.
Yeah. I mean, eventually I'd probably like to do that. I mean, that seems fun to me. But
little advice, since I know you, do not put a lot of planning into it. Do not put a lot of plan. Still plan because because you still want to have stuff, especially if you're doing a longer campaign, because you need to remember the things, and so planning it all out, writing it down, is huge for if you're going to be doing a long-term campaign.
Yeah.
So, just don't go overboard in planning
with the
stuff
planning.
out.
You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there can be one thing that changes, or a character does not do, or does something else, and you're like, oh, I didn't plan for that. And it's going to happen.
Yeah, right.
It always happens.
Yeah.
I was actually watching some of a highlight from Critical Role, some of the early episodes of their season 2, so I guess 2 or 3 years now.
Yeah.
The one guy in there, Liam O'Brien, he actually goes and finds a bookstore that specializes in smut.
What?
Yeah, so he's looking for dirty novels. And and Matt's just like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, it was an interview I saw today. He was talking about like which player he has that really keeps him on his toes, one that he has to be like really thinking for.
Yeah.
He's like, it has to be Liam. And then he goes through the one thing that happened inside of it. He was like, oh, are there any bookstores in the area? And they're like, oh yeah, this one. He's like, that's specialized in a specific something. So he had to spend like however long he was doing, a whole day of figuring out random names for these books. Oh, that's right. He said he improvised all the random books. Really? And the character in the bookstore was like Chastity's Nook or something like that. So he's like, I had this stuff planned, and then he's like, we're gonna go way over here.
Oh my word, that's funny.
Oh man, yeah. So and then one of the other characters in there, Laura, yeah. Then she's like, oh, I also want one of these books. And then they're just going off on this little adventure of trying to find dirty novels.
Yeah. What I'm kind of like really excited about, in all honesty, is now that I have experience playing D&D, is getting other people on the podcast, like who run who run campaigns, run
yeah, next week we'll have Matt Mercer on here.
Yeah, I would love to get him on here at some point. That'd be awesome. But yeah, that would be cool. I mean, talking to people who do this, not necessarily for a living, but who just enjoy doing it, who have fun doing it for sure. Now I know what they're what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, now you
like
have
in
a
episode
pretty good
5.
idea.
I had no idea what the heck you guys were talking about.
Yeah,
I had kind of an idea, but I was so confused.
Yeah.
But now I'm a lot better prepared.
Yeah.
I know a lot better of what you guys are talking about.
You knew absolutely nothing. So like in that episode 5 we had, it was really me and Michael talking about D&D.
Pretty much.
And I'm like, man, Dan's quiet today.
Yeah, I'm sitting over in the corner like, guys, I have no idea what the heck is going on right now. None.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
glad to bring you into the world.
Yeah,
You
dude,
and
it
your
was
wife?
fun, man. It was fun. So my character was named Runda. Runda, the Rock Gnome Wizard.
Yes.
So this is what I'm talking about, like my accent. Dude, it's like all over the freaking place.
As
Like,
long as you're having fun, Dan.
Well, yeah, and I enjoy that. Like, honestly, like I enjoy not being myself and just that's probably one of the things that I would have fun with the most.
You know what I was just thinking about?
What?
I think it would be so funny to watch you play a mute character, especially like a caster who can't even talk their spells. You're limited on your spells that can't be verbal. You have to have everything that is material and like some somatic. So purely hand symbols and whatnot.
So, and how many spells are there like that?
I don't know.
So this page that I have open, here's V.
Oh, I actually think you might be able to set it up to where you can do that though.
V. What?
There's a way to set it up to where you don't have to be verbal in casting spells.
Really?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain.
So something happened to me yesterday.
Okay. What was yesterday?
So yesterday was Monday.
Yeah.
Yesterday was me and my wife's anniversary.
Yes.
Our 7th anniversary. And she got me a little something.
Oh man.
Was not really
Is that what I think it is?
Not really prepared for. So she gives this to me and I'm like, what is this? It is she got me
some dice.
She got me some nice dice.
Hello there. Oh man.
She got me a set of metal dice.
Yeah.
I'll have to take a picture of these probably and post them on the social.
Do these ones change color like Michael's?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
But they are nice. They are nice. Yeah, they are nice, high quality.
Yeah, you don't want to roll these on without rolling on a mat or in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah, just throwing these on a wooden table, it's going to destroy
Definitely going to destroy the table.
Yeah.
So I was very happy and very surprised that she got these for me. So
you're like, I only played once.
Yeah. But she was like, I don't know if you have any dice. I'm like, honey, I got a giant bag full of dice. But I never bought like nice looking dice like this.
I was going to say, I also think you only had like one whole set because I think you only had like 1d4 to go with your other stuff. So you only had one set of dice.
Yeah. Yeah. So she got this for me and I was very, very excited, very happy.
Yeah. Don't step on the D4.
Oh, it's even in there with the point up. Like that. Oh man, it's like that part on Home Alone where he's got the nail, where he steps on the nail.
Okay.
Yeah, not cool.
Yeah, so
I was not expecting that yesterday, but yeah, she got me those dice and was very happy.
Cool.
So yeah, my first nice set of dice. Well, it's funny because when everybody came over for the one shot, Michael sits down with his, like, I don't know how many sets of dice he has.
he had a couple.
He had a couple of sets, but they were nice. They were nice sets.
I think I have 3 sets of dice.
Yeah. So I was like, oh. One other thing that I learned, okay, I've got my character sheet here that I printed out and wrote down pen and paper.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a site called D&D Beyond where you can do it all electronically, and so you can have like a laptop or an iPad sitting in front of you.
Exactly. And it pretty much adds up everything instantly, telling you your numbers and whatnot. So, although I don't think you can like set up attacks on it, like, I click my dagger attack and it'll roll a die for you online. I don't know. I don't really use D&D Beyond. Yeah,
so I'm gonna have to look into that for sure. So.
Oh, all right. That's a lie. I actually think you can buy different dice skins on D&D Beyond. So I think you're actually able to roll dice on there as well.
Really?
I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd rather roll an actual dice though.
Yeah, I just like all the physical stuff.
Yeah.
The books, having the paper and pen. I guess I'm old school.
Yeah. A little bit. So we're gonna wrap up here shortly, but this episode was kind of a little different. We don't want to be doing the exact same format or the exact same type of episode from week to week. We do want to be switching it up every now and then. And honestly, Jim kind of had the idea of since we just did this one shot, let's just talk about it. So it's a really good idea. I mean, like I said, since we have said multiple times tonight, it's something we've been talking about for a while, and we're like, since we finally did it, might as well talk about it.
Yeah,
So
I got pretty lucky too when it came to my first game as well.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I got a lot of help from the DM, a guy I went to high school with. He's like, "Hey, yo, try this out." I'm like, "All right." Got really lucky. The people there were really cool. DM helped me out a whole lot. Pretty much held my hand through the whole making a character thing, along with what to do inside of the game. I had no idea, and I'm there sitting with like 12 people all at this table. Super intimidated. Everyone else is playing pretty well, and I just don't even know what the hell I'm doing. So
yeah, that was how it was like for me and Brittany. It was nice having two people at the table who was their first time, and everyone else is just a friend and honestly just wanting to help to help us. So it was nice. It was a really good time. So I know we both had a really good time. It was a lot of fun, and I know Brittany was like she would totally do it again. She would want to do it again.
That's good.
Yeah, and like for me, it's nice. It's nice sharing something like that with my wife. It's totally a nerd thing. That's fine. It's fine. But honestly, I'm glad she was able to have fun with us.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's nice sharing moments like that, with your spouse or your significant other, where you're doing kind of the same thing, and you're both just having fun. Yeah. So for me, that was fun. I really, really did enjoy that for sure.
Good.
Sure. So Jim, thanks for running that one shot for us.
Yeah, not a problem. I was glad to do it,
Yeah,
and I'm
fun.
glad everyone had a good time.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this week's episode, there's one other thing that we're trying a couple of new things this episode. And one of those new things is we're going to want to start talking a little bit about Kickstarter.
Yeah.
What we're going to want to be doing, we're going to be talking about Kickstarter in a much longer conversation, probably in a couple of weeks. But in the spirit of that, I kind of wanted to start off this week by mentioning a new and upcoming game that is it may or may not be available on Kickstarter.
Okay.
There's Jim. I'm actually going to kick it to you. I know I'm throwing you on the spot here, but you posted this today in the Discord.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to ask you, because I have seen a little bit about this game, but I kind of wanted to open it up to you.
This is the first time I saw it.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna talk a little bit just about a new game that is on Kickstarter for you all. And Jim, take it away.
So I got a notification on Discord earlier, and Noah hits me up. He's like, "Oh, hey, come check out this Discord link." For some reason, I can't post it in the Discord.
Yeah, only
which
admins
she
can.
found out. Yeah.
Yes.
So I then posted it in there. It is Rainbow Six Siege, the board game.
Yep.
So what they said was it is a 1v1 game where you're controlling different little miniatures, and it's pretty much the video game that they have on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I don't know exactly which ones it's on. And so you're going around with your whole party. You're setting up defenses in this building. You're setting up barricades. You have shields. You have all your different guns, grenades, whatever it is. And you have to go plant the bomb or defuse the bomb or just kill every other person that is inside the board game. So it's taking the video game aspect of Rainbow Six Siege and turning it into a board game for a one-on-one fight, which I think it would be great to do like a 6v6 in that, and every single person just controls one individual character. Then at that point, why isn't everyone just playing the video game, Dan?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've seen this being advertised before.
Yeah.
And honestly, personally, I haven't looked super in depth on it. I've just known that it's out there. So at the time of recording, it is live on Kickstarter. At the moment, there's 9 days left.
Yep. Isn't it like
back
300% done or something like that?
So right now they have $500,000 pledged.
Wow.
Their goal was $100,000.
Yeah.
$100,000. So they have well past that goal.
They're 5 times in it.
Yeah, they're 5x in.
Yeah.
So this is definitely getting made.
So when I looked at it earlier, it was like $384,000. So in the past few hours,
today.
Yeah, wow. I looked at it today. So like when I posted it, at that point, it was sitting around that number.
Yeah.
And then the fact that it just went to $500,000 now, I'm like, wow.
Yeah. I'm actually, you know what? I'm actually going to talk about one other Kickstarter right now, just because I know it is not going to be live for very long. I think it's only going to be live for about like a week. So they are releasing a new expansion for Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid.
Okay.
So the next expansion for that is being released. I'm trying to find it here and pull it up. Actually, if I just search
that game is crazy. How many little miniatures there are for those games?
Yeah. So it's Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid Rangers United.
Yeah.
So again, just like with Rainbow Six, there's 9 days left to go. It was posted today. Okay. Posted today. Okay. Their goal was 10,000. Okay.
They destroyed that goal, didn't they?
As of now, they have 1,200 backers.
Yeah.
Okay. With $205,000 pledged. Okay.
Holy moly.
So
you said 10,000 needed for the goal?
Yeah, the goal was 10,000.
That's nuts.
Yeah, the goal was 10,000. They've already hit 200,000 in less than a day.
Yeah.
That link was posted today. So they've been posting about it for a while.
Yeah.
Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid is a miniature game with a card component. Okay, it's a really good mix of miniatures and card game.
Yeah.
It's probably more of a card game, honestly, than a miniatures game.
All right.
So
it's really just there for visuals, pretty much. Okay.
Yeah. So definitely check those two out. We will be posting the links in the description for this. But like I said, we're going to want to be talking about one Kickstarter a week. Kind of at the ends of these episodes, just to let you all know what's going on in the world of tabletop gaming.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
quick little thing, Dan.
Oh, quick little thing.
Before we close out.
Before we close, okay.
I wanted to continue with the D&D thing just for a moment.
Yeah.
You know, so if you guys don't have a group, but you really want to play D&D, you can go to your local game store, and they most likely will have a day that you can come in and play D&D.
Yeah.
There's pretty much always a group of people there. Well, I guess if you're lucky.
You know what else you can do? Hit us up on Discord.
Join
our Discord. And you know what? The beautiful thing about the internet is you can play these games. You can play a lot of things over the internet.
Yeah.
Join our Discord. Join our Discord community. Find local like-minded gamers.
Yes.
Okay. And just say, hey, I'm looking to play D&D. Who's down? Guarantee you're going to find people in our Discord who are down to do that.
Even if like you play Magic or any other game, random board games, and you have a group of people, just be like, hey, anyone want to try D&D like once or twice? You know, get a little starter set, play the characters, have fun.
So, so that being said, join our Discord. Link is in the description. That Discord link is always active. If you join our Discord community, there's a bunch of people in there right now, just basically a bunch of nerds, like-minded gamers who we enjoy this hobby of tabletop gaming. All right. So, Jim, how can people find you on online?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Morgan HNH.
You can find me on Twitter at _DG Campbell and on Instagram at Daniel.G.Campbell. And hopefully this is going to be the last week I'm going to say this. We are getting our social media accounts set up, and those will be live within the week. I can pretty much guarantee you they're going to be live within the week. And I'm excited to really get those up and going and really increasing our community and our networks and our reach for sure. And also, our community game night is on July 10th from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. So if you are in the Southwest suburbs of Chicago, come on out. We are in New Lenox. The location is going to be the Lincoln Way Special Recreation Association building in New Lenox from 1 to 6 p.m. Yes. There is going to be a cost for the event. It is going to be a cover charge of $5 per person. Mm-hmm. So come out, play some games, get to meet our community, come meet us. Yep. We will be there. Honestly, we're just going to be there mingling with everybody.
We'll have games there for people, or bring whatever.
Bring
games
your own.
You want.
You've got
people. Other people
decks.
will be bringing stuff in.
Yep. Yeah. We are gonna be bringing a bunch of games. And then I guarantee you, there's gonna be a lot of people. Yep. We're also gonna be bringing a lot of their games as well. We are really looking forward to this event in the community. I'm really looking forward to getting our name out there in the community and just continuing to grow the Hobbies and Happiness community. All right, and lastly, if you have a story about D&D, if you have a story about tabletop gaming, how you got involved or whatever, hit us up. You can hit us up on social or send us an email at hobbiesandhappiness@gmail.com.
I'd love to hear
and
these
we would
stories.
love to hear these. Anytime we're going to get a story, we want to be reading those on the air. Subscribe. You can subscribe to the podcast on all of your on any of your favorite podcasting platform. Leave us a review. We get any review, we're going to be reading those live on air as well. I guess it's not real live because this is a pre-recorded show.
We're doing it live, Dan.
But we will be reading those for sure. So, with all of that, thank you very much for being here. Mm-hmm. Jim, that was fun. And also, Jim, thanks again for running that one shot.
That was great.
For D&D. That was a lot of fun. And I look forward to be playing a lot more D&D in the future. All right. Till then, thanks for being here, everybody. And we'll see you all next week.
Take care, guys.
All right. See you, everybody.